Welcome to the Mentor Forge podcast. It's your host, Cartwright Morris. Thanks for listening today. If you haven't done it yet, please go on to mentorforge.com and subscribe. It'll pop up on right as you log on to the website. You'll get a free PDF. It's the 3 essentials to defining your purpose. Some more little content that I've done to help you out, as well as some more content coming outside of the podcast just to help you process, think through, break down, understand deep down why you're here. And how to practically pursue that and walk that out. So if you would, go to mentorforge.com, click on that link, as well as find other guests, other content that I've put on the website. I promise I won't bother you too much. So thank you. All right, for today, what are we talking about? We're breaking down this week's episode, my interview with Anton Gunn. Anton has lived a pretty full life, but you can tell just by talking with him, he's got a lot more he wants to do, a lot more he wants to accomplish, a lot more people he wants to help and to serve. He's got a really powerful mission, what he's doing. But something that stood out, you can go on mentorforge.com/guest interviews and just click on the Anton's episode and get the full breakdown. You can get his bio. You can listen to the episode. You can even watch the episode as well as get the highlights, the quotes. He had a lot of great quotes, especially about leadership. And then, then the questions that I think through. I go through the interview more than once, and I think through, what would be a good question I would want someone to ask me from it? Kind of a breakdown of questions, insightful thoughts. What about his life that I can apply to my life? There was so much there that I could have broken down, but the one that stood out was here's a quote I have it posted on his site here, on his page. When you are at your darkest hour, in your deepest pain, I found the best way to come out of that is to help other people who are in their darkest hour. It gave me purpose and my own pain helped me identify with others. So, I think for a lot of us, how do we use our pain in a powerful way? How do we not waste it away? Because at the end of the day, it's unavoidable that we're going to experience some type of pain, whether that's physical, emotional, or spiritual. We're going to go through some stuff. I think it's a rite of passage as a human, and the more we try to insulate ourselves from it, the more, that we miss out on its lessons. We miss out on the beauty of it. That there is order that comes out of the chaos from it, from the disappointment, from the hurt, from the lack thereof, or the direct pain. And his pain, the biggest probably moment, as he said, was when he lost his brother to a terrorist attack. And what came from that. At first, he allowed himself to feel pain, to want to give up. I think that's a mark of a healthy person, that they're not avoiding their emotion. They're not avoiding the pain. They're allowing it to hit them. I think that was something that really stood out from listening to him. You could just, see it, that it still weared on him a good bit. Obviously, I think it was, probably 15 years ago. No, it was right before 9/11, so it's probably over 20 years ago. It happened, but still kind of resonating with him. I imagine with anyone losing a loved one, especially in that way. But then, like many of us, or like few of us, he responded like a leader. How can I have the most impact? How can I help someone in the same space that I am in? I feel like really Anton had asked that question, or not asked the question, that quote, the quote, I think it's Stephen Scoggins, episode 45, talked about that. I am best positioned to serve the person that used to be me or my former self. I think Anton, as a leader, you could just tell that he had a mark of leadership in his life early on. He had someone early on call that out in him, which is such a key thing. But I think it's always there. You could just get around the guy and you could tell he's got very much a leadership mindset. It's just a leadership mantle even. It's part of his personality. It's part of who he is. It's part of his calling, his purpose in life. He's just easy to follow. You probably tell that even just listening to him. But yeah, he gave himself permission to grieve, to be in pain, to even contemplate quitting, giving up. But then eventually what came out of that is he started serving other people. And then he started thinking about leadership roles, getting into politics, giving a voice to the voiceless. And then all his, things that kind of he went through that really shaped him and molded him into who he is today. And then it led to him being in a space where he wanted to help people in the healthcare industry. It started as wanting to help patients, people who couldn't pay for healthcare, but then people that were working in healthcare. And it's just not a healthy environment. And how can he help people and consult at administrations and different things? But the fruit of a lot of his pain, you could see it. I mean, he's just a very wise, intelligent, influential leader. You could just see when you get around him. And so, but the pain I thought that's what I love about the interview is the hardship was there. And that's sometimes how we miss what's the value from pain? What's the value of hard times? And I think he's such a product of that. And so, if anything today to take from that interview, I'd recommend is how have you used your darkest moments, your hardest times to help others? How have you found a way out of it? How have you used it to benefit the person? Because people can tell, right? We've all gotten advice. We've gotten advice that didn't mean shit, actually, for lack of a better term. It did not hold weight. And you're like, why they just gave me a good speech, probably intellectually it made sense, but it didn't resonate on a deep level, didn't cause you to create change or to get better. But then there's people who do give you advice in those hard times, and it means something. It matters. And probably because you feel the weight of their history, that they've actually gone through it. They've actually been through something that you have been through. I think we all can resonate and understand the difference between the two, between words of wisdom that carried very little weight, and you could tell it doesn't come from a place of love or wisdom or insight, but actually comes from a place of insecurity and wanting to fix you and get you to, because your pain makes them feel pain and they don't want to feel pain. Versus someone they actually care about you. They want to see you grow. They actually want to see you come out of it and come out stronger and better. And there's a key difference. And usually the people in it are the only ones who know the difference. So, be slow to speak, quick to listen in those moments, right? I think because of that fact. But if you have been through something, you do carry weight in how you speak, how you engage with someone going through something hard. You do believe that you have confidence, or you should have confidence in your words, because you have gone through it. You are best served to serve the person you used to be. So whatever you've been through, break that down, analyze that, understand that, because that's where you have strength. That's where you have wisdom. That's where you have something to give others. Super important that we understand that. It's hard. It's hard to look back. It's hard to understand, but that's part of our redemption story. God wastes nothing. There is nothing wasted in this life. And if we start believing that and believe we're on some redemption arc, then things will change. They will get better. We will have influence. We will be successful, and we'll redefine success. But we have to have the ability to understand what happened to us if we want to if we want to start happening for others, right? I was trying to think of something, but witty there. Anyway, I don't think I got anything else left for you. Thank you for listening. Hope you go check out episode 60, my interview with Anton Gunn, how to grow as a leader and create lasting change. If you haven't yet, also, can you please go on to Apple Podcast? The link is on Anton's page as well as any other page. Go to Apple Podcasts. Please rate and review. This is huge for me. Helps me get this ball rolling. Helps me engage with more listeners, as well as follow on any other podcasts as well. Thanks for listening.